Marcus Aurelius Antoninus, born April 26th in the year 121 AD, was a Roman emperor, Stoic philosopher, and one of history's greatest leaders. Considered one of the 5 good emperors of the last peaceful period of the Roman Empire before its division into 395 AD and subsequent decline, Marcus is now most commonly remembered for his Meditations, a series of notes, thoughts, and journal entries about Stoic philosophy. If you're looking for the best quotes from Marcus Aurelius about Stoicism and what it means to live a good life, welcome, you've found just the right place. In this organized list, you'll discover the 10 most popular Marcus Aurelius quotes based on reader votes from Goodreads. We'll also share Nick's favorite lines from the great thinker, a little background on why philosophy is worth studying, and a whole bunch of custom-made images you can use to share your favorite quotes to social media. I learned to read carefully and not be satisfied with a rough understanding of the whole. Marcus said these 7 books are a great place to expand your understanding of philosophy and life. You can easily navigate this list by using the below table of contents. Jump to whichever section interests you the most with a single click. If you want to share any quote on this list, simply highlight it and several sharing options will appear. Alternatively, you can skip to the images section at the end of this list. Now, let's dive into the best quotes from Marcus Aurelius, and in his first of many great are not asking to be judged by you, so take what you find useful, consume what you find inspiring, and ignore the rest. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Think constantly on the changes of the elements into each other, for such thoughts wash away the dust of earthly life. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. The second half of this quote is probably not from Marcus. The first half appears in
Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. The hardest part of compiling quotes from someone who lived almost 2,000 years ago is making sure that what you find is what that person actually wrote or said. In Marcus' case, we thankfully have the Meditations, his premier and only work, a journal of sorts, which consists of 12 volumes and survives to this day. Nearly all quotes we can attribute to Marcus with certainty go back to this text. With a myriad of translations available from the original Greek, there is no shortage of clever lines from the man who, by all accounts, carried the burden of leadership. Started reading the book a while ago. While I haven't finished it in its entirety, I have also read The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday multiple times, and in that book, Ryan constantly quotes from Meditations. Understand at last that you have something in you more powerful and divine than what causes the bodily passions and pulls you like a mere puppet. What thoughts now occupy my mind? Is it not fear, suspicion, desire, or something like that? Don't return to philosophy as a taskmaster, but as patients seek out relief in a treatment of sore eyes, or a dressing for a burn, or from an ointment. Regarding it this way, you'll obey reason without putting it on display, and rest easy in its care. Think of the life you have lived until now as over and as a dead man. See what's left as a bonus, and live it according to nature. Love the hand that fate deals you and play it as your own, for what could be more fitting? The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, because an artful life requires being prepared to meet and withstand sudden and unexpected attacks. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human and therefore manlier. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Wherever a person can live there, one can also live well. You shouldn't give circumstances the power to rouse anger, for they don't care at all. Keep a list before your mind of those who burned with anger and resentment about something of even the most renowned for success, misfortune, evil deeds, or any special distinction. Then ask yourself, how did that work out? Smoke and dust, the stuff of simple myth trying to be legend. Whenever someone has done wrong by you, immediately consider what notion of good or evil they had in doing it. For when you see that, you'll feel compassion instead of astonishment or rage. We are like many pellets of incense falling on the same altar. Some collapse sooner, others later, but it makes no difference. That cucumber is bitter, so toss it out. There are thorns on the path, then keep away. Enough said. Why ponder the existence of nuisance? When you first rise in the morning, tell yourself, I will encounter busybodies, ingrates, egomaniacs, liars, the jealous, and cranks. They are all stricken with these afflictions because they don't know the difference between good and evil, because I have understood the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil. I know that these wrongdoers are still akin to me, and that none can do me harm or implicate me in ugliness, nor can I be angry at my relatives or hate them, for we are made for cooperation. Dig deep within yourself, for there is a fountain of goodness ever ready to flow if you will keep digging. You have been formed of 3 parts: body, breath, and mind. Of these, the first 2 are yours insofar as they are only in your care. The third alone is truly yours. If anyone can prove and show to me that I think and act in error, I will gladly change it, for I seek the truth by which no one has ever been harmed. The one who is harmed is the one who abides in deceit and ignorance. Kindness is invincible, but only when it's sincere, with no hypocrisy or faking. For what can even the most malicious person do if you keep showing kindness, and, if given the chance, you gently point out where they went wrong right as they are trying to harm you? It is essential for you to remember that the attention you give to any action should be in due proportion to its worth, for then you won't tire, and give up if you aren't busying yourself with lesser things beyond what should be allowed. Joy for human beings lies in proper human work. And proper human work consists in acts of kindness to other human beings, disdain for the stirrings of the senses, identifying trustworthy impressions, and contemplating the natural order and all that happens in keeping with it. How easily we love ourselves above all others, yet we put more stock in the opinions of others than in our own estimation of self. You must build up your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can keep you from this. If you find something very difficult to achieve yourself, don't imagine it impossible, for anything possible and proper for another person can be achieved as easily by you. The universe is change, life is opinion. Don't be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill just like a soldier on the wall of battle. So what if you are injured and can't climb up without another soldier's help? While it's true that someone can impede our actions, they can't impede our intentions and our attitudes, which have the power of being conditional and adaptable. For the mind adapts and converts any obstacle to its action into a means of achieving it. That which is an impediment to action is turned to advance action. The obstacle on the path becomes the way, whatever anyone does or says. For my part, I'm bound to the good. In the same way, an emerald or gold or purple might always proclaim, whatever anyone does or says, I must be what I am and show my true colors.
That which isn't good for the hive isn't good for the bee. In your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. When you've done well and another has benefited by it, why like a fool do you look for a third thing on top, credit for the good deed, or a favor in return? Receive without pride, let go without attachment. Often injustice lies in what you aren't doing, not only in what you are doing. This is the mark of perfection of character, to spend each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, laziness, or any pretending. Put an end once for all to this discussion of what a good man should be and be one Marcus Aurelius. Most of us aspire to fame, wealth, power, and success. Yet the few of us who actually attain these things often attest to the heavy weight of these things. Groomed to reign from a young age, Marcus was cast into the ultimate leadership role, ruling an empire that included a third of the world's population at the time and, unlike most,